is the introduction of the M.O.I, that's Men of Influence. And these people have been coming together and sharing their time and their experiences and their knowledge and stuff like that, and been making a positive impact on the city and on the community. Fundraising events and stuff like that. Give it up for the M.O.I real quick. This wouldn't be possible without the M.O.I. That's up, my man. That there was no drama. You feel me? I want to say that there was no incidents, there was no drama. Everybody was nothing but hugs and love and laughter and chicken wings and catfish. Look, I just want to say that it is possible. I've seen this city evolve. But with the no violence thing that's happening right now, with all of our events, it's all good. It's all love. And I'm talking about people from different sets and people from different areas and different walks of life. Everything that's coming together in a positive way, it is possible. We're seeing it right now, that it is possible. It just takes the people in charge, and it takes the people who's actually got some juice to actually stand up and make a difference. I'm one of those people. I'm not saying I'm in charge of them, but I'm just saying that people like me.
The Men of Influence who are here saying, hey, we want to make a difference in our community now. That's a big deal. It's a big deal. So, thank you. But we're here today partially because of his vision. And so I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you as a friend. I'm grateful for what you're doing in this community. I'm grateful to be partnered with you. So thank you. We need to give some love to DeAndre right now.
But I am D. Smith. I was born and raised in K-Land. We in the building. The M.O.I came about because I was noticing that there wasn't really a connection with the nonprofit organizations and different community organizations that's in the community. And I figured out that one of the reasons why is because the people that can make the change in the community are the people that these organizations and these different people are afraid to talk to, because it's normally the ones that are, turn up and stuff. So if you got a problem with people having shootouts, let's just say games, for example, you got to go to the games. You can't have a rally over here and have a group of men saying that we can't put up with this. We're us against you, because now you have more battling. So what you got to do is you got to reach out to those people that have the influence over those people that are causing the problems. So we had a situation where they were talking about gang violence and gang shooting at Memorial Park. And Miss McFly, I thought she was gonna be here. I was gonna call her out. She put on a rally at Memorial Park, a Stop the Violence rally. And so it made me think that if it would have been somebody saying, I want to clear all this up, I don't want these people here, and all of that, they would have had a trailer in the park, they would have ran everybody out that's from the community out, and they would have did whatever they wanted to do, because they're already doing the gentrification. So I reached out to my cousin, Lil Snoop right here, and I told him that we got an issue that we need to fix or whatever, and the only way that we can fix it is if y'all fix it. And so I was just thinking about, how to make this happen. So the thing about it is, like, I gotta call out Dom too, excuse me, sorry. So Dom and Snoop, they're really the ones I talk to a lot, because I see them the most or whatever. And O, say hey O, where you at? I see them the most because they support the stuff that I do more, because I run into them. They're in the same business I'm in, because Dom own businesses, Snoop own businesses, and all of that. And I'm just saying, pointing them out because they're here, but it's a whole bunch of them. But I was just thinking about how when I grew up, how I was literally a whooping away from being a part of a gang. My daddy right there, he used the belt. But one of the things that I recognized when I was a kid, and also when I got older, is that when I go places and I do things and I I see Lil Snoop or whatever, and he let people know that's my cousin right there, I don't have no problems when I go places. Even if he's not there. Once he say that, it's over. They welcome me with open arms. Don put a post out a few years ago or whatever because, you know, we was talking and communicating and networking because we've been doing it for years. And he put a post out that says, a new family member in the syndicate family. And he put a post out. So now all these people that support Dom now supports me. So when I go places, they recognize me, and even if I don't recognize them, on the strength of him. So I noticed that if this is working for me, it can work for everybody that's in here. Because you guys see all these men that's in here that's wearing these shirts, and it don't matter who it is, but if you're wearing the shirt and you walk up to them in the streets and they can be with all the homies, which looks scary, and you say, I was at your Thanksgiving dinner and I appreciate what you guys doing. Now, you automatically get that protection because they showed you that love. All it is just like, you gotta communicate, you gotta talk, you gotta have a handshake or something. You can't be afraid of the people that's in your community. And so the only way you're not gonna be afraid of the people that's in your community is when you sit down with the people in your community. So now when you see these people in the street, guess what they gonna do? They gonna show you love just like you gonna show them love. But if we stay separate, then it ain't never gonna happen. And so that's the same concept that I was thinking about with this group. So I reached out to a few people that I put it in their ear and talked about it, but it wasn't really moving because I'm not in no game. So me and Sean was sitting down talking one day, and it was during the time when they was having the riots and the boycotts and all that type of stuff. And Stephanie Rose was having issues with some of the white guys with the guns, what they call mercenaries or whatever. And she said, I don't need y'all. I can call my black men. So Sean did this post and he called out, oh, I need 100 black men to stand on the porch of the city hall so that, you know, we can, so our woman that's representing us, that's speaking for us, can feel safe. And it was a gang of us to come. I don't know if it was 100, but it was a lot of us. And we didn't even do nothing. We didn't argue, we didn't fight. We just walked up and the respect was already there. So what that let me know was that if we just come together, we don't have to act a fool to get respect. So when we have people like Sean and the Chinook Center do what they do, all they need is really the support. That's the only way that it's gonna help. But we're not gonna be able to make no change and get no help without the people who has a real influence in the community. So I reached out to everybody. I talked to a few people or whatever, but it didn't happen until I talked to Lil Snoop again. So everybody told me the same thing, it ain't gonna work. Nobody wanna do truce and all that type of stuff, and I don't care about the truce. That ain't never gonna be no truce because there's so much black blood. You can't just spring a truce on people. So we started small. Let's just make it to where we can not kill each other and shoot each other where there's kids and families at or whatever. So when I go talk to Lil Snoop, he's giving me a hard time, he ain't listening. He's telling me all the things that can go wrong, which I agree with. And I didn't have no answers to say, well, this is why it will work and this is how it works, because I never did it before. So I just, you know, used my relationship. If I was doing something wrong, and I said, Lil Snoop, I got a problem, you and all the homies will be there. So I'm just asking for you to just come for me on this one. We ain't gonna get no trouble. And he got us a little bit hesitant, you know, like, you know, but you know, then it comes out like, look, big cousin, I need you to have my back. And that's all I'm asking. He said yes. He made a couple of phone calls to the other official guys in the city. They made calls to other official guys in the city. And we all sat down in the same room and we spoke for the first time. And this was 3.5 months ago. And it didn't go smooth. It was bad. To me, So everything that everybody was saying about why it wouldn't work, it almost didn't work because of that. But we had, these are OGs that we're talking to. So everybody is alpha males. So at any given time when there's animation, it can always go bad. But they already knew that they was ready to make a change and do whatever it was. So I wish that my man was here, because he can tell you better than me. But he basically said, I ain't with none of this. I'm gang banging. I'm cool with this dude right here. I'll smash on anybody else that he knows. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. But we had OGs that was sitting at the table that said, nah, that's not what we gonna do. We gonna start right here, right now. And the most like level-headed person that was in the room was like really Kamal, because Kamal, he got the both sides thing, you know. He teach people, he help people, you know. He been in a corporate world, so he know the structure of that type of stuff, whatever. So while we was getting a little, you know, off track, he would get us back on track. And so, because I wasn't able to it had to have been one of them to step up to say like, no, look, this is what we're gonna do. Even if it was, I'm not gonna be here all night. We need to figure it out. But he said stuff like, we need a mission statement. We need to do team building. We need to start right here in this room. We don't have to jump into doing events like this or whatever. Let's start right here. So then the next week, he gonna show up. So, and so, but I guess he wasn't feeling good or whatever. But then I see him the Monday before the third week. And I was like, yo, what's up, man? You gonna be up there tomorrow? And he was like, yeah. I'm gonna try to make it. And I was like, I mean, no. So I'm leaving the K, and I'm getting ready to go home. I had to come right back and grab my computer. And so I had to say a little prayer, because I was like, I need him to be here. It's like too early for people to just fall off. Even though the second one did go good. So he was still here. I said a little prayer, Lord, if he's here, I mean, I'm supposed to talk to him. Just let him be there. So I get there, and I see him. And I like begged this dude, like my knees is still jacked up, because I begged this man for like 45 minutes. And then he was like, man, you know what? You right, we gonna try to figure this out together or whatever. Because see, the funny thing about it is, these are all my friends, like for real friends. Like we peed on the same tree together. Like growing up, you know? And so before everybody split up and went their own way, they, you know, now we back together. And so it's like more like a personal type thing for me, because like literally my friends are able to sit in the same room, and these are the guys, they older than me by a year or two, or three, or four. But these are the guys that I looked up to. These are the guys who made sure that I was straight. I was always the littlest one. I didn't know how to fight, but I always was the littlest one. And like Lil Snoop would be like, oh no, he good. That's all I need. I can play basketball with the old ones. You know what I mean? So it's just like right now, it's just the time for us to like really latch on to them, and us latching on to y'all, because that's the only way that we're gonna be able to take care of each other. And you can see like right now that that's very important, because there's a lot of different people, multicultural and all of that type of stuff. Not just talking about different gang sets or nothing like that. I'm talking about white, black, green, red, orange, all of that. And that's normally what a lot of these type of things don't never have. And so they said that they was ready to step up. It was their idea to do this event. And I was thinking like, let's just help other people do an event. But they said they wanted to take up the mantle and do what they always wanted to do, which is do right. And so I just want to thank all y'all for being out there. I want to thank y'all for trusting me and allowing me to, you know, do this or whatever. I got my big brother right here. He always got me back. And Will, he ain't got no choice. And so I'm gonna let Jamon talk. God bless y'all.
You can't sit, man. You've been working hard. Okay, listen, I want to say one more thing. I want to add a little bit more color to this thing. D is saying it real smooth and stuff, but I just want to be real for 2 seconds here. We're talking about people shooting and killing each other. back in the day. We're talking about mothers losing children, and we're talking about sisters losing brothers and vice versa. These are the, I'm not saying these individuals, I'm saying the problem was widespread in Colorado. And Colorado Springs didn't used to, you know, it's not LA. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you used to be able to walk around and play until it gets dark, and you know, as a kid. It started getting worse and stuff, and gang culture and gang violence was on an uprise right here in Colorado Springs. Okay, and so we've been having these meetings every week. Well, I couldn't even make it every week, but every week there's a meeting with some of the shot callers and some of the official people that represent different sections of the streets. Y'all with me? Y'all still with me? I brought my 16-year-old son to the meeting, and as people went around in a circle, started telling some stories about gangbanging and where it got them, I promise you, it was crazy. My son, his mind was blown, because somebody said, hey, little homie, I was 16 the first time I got shot. And there's the next person next to him, I was 16 when I got shot, then I went to jail, and da-da-da, and I lost some of my friends, and da-da-da. And the next dude said, yeah, I was 16 too. I was like, what? And my son was just like, yo. But all of them had the same resounding message. They said, it's not worth it. They said, don't be fooled, it's not worth it. I've thrown away so many years, I've lost so many friends. And my son was affected by that. He had to work today. He worked at McDonald's, and I'm very proud of my son. He's a dope musician, and he's a great person. He couldn't be here today, otherwise he'd be on this stage rocking it, but he had to work today, and that's a responsibility, and that's what's up. But he wanted to send his love to the men of influence and say thank you. Thank you for pouring into him and telling your stories and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's what it's about. And now these same individuals who was caught up in that stuff are here today putting on a community event. These are people from different sets, different colors. You know what I'm talking about? And it's happening right now. So that right there deserves an applause. Come on. We're gonna bring up my man Kamal. You guys give him a lot of love. Give him a lot of love. He's gonna roll with it.
So the Men of Influence, they asked me to come up and share my story. But first I want to express gratitude for everybody that showed up here today. This means a lot to me. This means a lot to everybody that's part of the Men of Influence. D, where you at? Thank you, because this is big, man. It took vision, it took strength, it took courage to put that call out and make this happen. So that's a big deal, man. I really appreciate that, for real. Yeah. So what brought me here? So I'm gonna give you a little bit. About my background. So the shortened version, because I could talk all night. But when I was 16, the Springs, the gang stuff started, or had already been going, and it was pretty strong. And basically, the whole city was kind of aligned against a small group of people. The whole city, though, I was friends with everybody. We grew up here. My dad used to have the karate school over on the south side. I mean, I'm from here, like, for real. But, you know, when all that stuff started happening, it came a time where we really had to just make a choice. And it was like, if everybody's going to, and even if all the groups weren't aligned together, they were at least aligned against this group. Well, this group happened to be only about 20 people, and 2 of those people happened to be my cousins. And so I was like, I love y'all, but if I'm gonna make this choice, if we gonna have to make a choice, then I gotta go with my people. And when I did that, it was basically like looking at this whole room and saying, all right, now, everybody in here is my enemy except for these 5 people. And that would happen back on March 12th, 1995. March 18th, 1995, the street said, well, you want that smoke? We're gonna bring it right to your front door. So me and my cousin and his girl, we were headed to a little hotel after a party that we had went to, and there was about 30 dudes there, and they ambushed us. And they tried to really give it to us. right over here at right by Hotel Elegante. And when we saw them, we immediately tried to take off. And they tried to cut us off a couple things. They got off, shot through the window. It went through the passenger window and the driver's window. Didn't hit me or my cousin. I don't know how. If it would've, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you. So we turned around, backed them up off us a little bit. My cousin turned around, like, drive. They backed up, but they realized we didn't have no more for them. So they chased us from Hotel Elegante, shot out every window in the car. Everybody in the car got shot. And the chase ended on 8th Street and Cimarron, where we wrecked head on with another car. They jumped out, got off on us some more. Long story short, we survived it. But what that did was that let me know that if you're gonna be playing this game, these are the rules, this is how it's gonna be played. So for the next several years, that's how it was played, right? And the things that happened are, what's understood doesn't need to be discussed. But say about 7, 8 years later, one of my buddies had just gotten out of prison, and I was starting to have some realizations about some things that I need to do for myself to just better myself. And I hit him up, I said, hey man, you wanna go to barber school? And if you know him, it took him some time to say yes. We ended up going to barber school. And I'm telling you all this because I want you to know from where I came from to what I'm doing now. So we went to barber school, then we ended up opening up a barber shop, and then we bought the Right Touch barber shop, which was up on Gallery and Academy. It was a pretty successful barber shop. We had a great time there. Was able to interact with a lot of people throughout the city. We also opened up a clothing store right above it, the Players Den clothing store. And then around that same time, I decided that actually my barber instructor came and told me that if you went to this school, National American University, they would give you a year's worth of college credit towards a bachelor's degree. And I was like, yeah, run that, let's do that. So went to school, had the barber shop, the Right Touch, and was going to school. And at the same time, medical marijuana started getting big in the city, and I was like, I need a piece of that. So I opened up a dispensary. So at that time I had a dispensary, a clothing store, a barber shop, and was going to school. And then all the regulations started happening. So the city and the state wanted to start regulating. So they made a call down to City Hall, and they ended up forming a task force of people throughout of the community to help guide city council on what the regulations for marijuana would be. And me and my buddy, Apple, we went down there. We were the only 2 black people there, about 150 people there. And I ended up getting selected to be part of that task force. And during that task force, we took the mayor and all the city council members on their first dispensary tours, worked with city council, with a couple lawyers from the community, a couple physicians, other dispensary owners, and we helped shape the laws and the zoning requirements for what is still in effect right now in Colorado Springs. And so after doing that, we ended up closing the Players Den clothing store, and I ended up moving to Denver because I just wanted to do more. So I had finished my bachelor's degree, and I wanted to start my master's degree. So I went to Denver and started that. At that time, the dispensary got raided, and they shut it down, and they charged me. And so now I'm in Denver, have a master's degree actually at this point, but I can't get a job because when I'm trying to apply for a job, they run a background check, and they're like, you on bond, dude? Like, we don't know what's gonna happen. So funny enough, the one job that I was able to get was teaching at a high school. There was a brother up there, up in the Boulder area, who has a high school, a charter high school. He said, yeah, you can come up here, you can start a barber program here, and you can teach business classes. So I started doing that, ended up teaching at a college after that, and ended up getting into IT, which is what I do now. And so when I was, as I started working in the corporate world and everything, some of that stuff was like, it was hard. Like, because you got to think, like, I've been in the streets like my whole life. Even though I was going to school and doing those other things, like, I'm out here, right? And so you go into those worlds, and you're dealing with personalities, and you can't say, you got a problem, let's go outside, let's take care. You can't do that, right? So you have to learn other skills on how to cope with people and how to deal with things. And so I was doing that, and at the same time, I also had to learn how to do the jobs that I was doing that I had no idea how to do. Like, I was able to get the jobs, but it was hard. Like, it was, and then you have people depending on you, and people, they have expectations of you and everything. But one thing that kept me going was I was like, yeah, this is hard, and I could potentially fail, but there's a couple things that are not gonna happen to me at these jobs. I'm not gonna get killed, I'm not gonna get indicted, I'm not gonna get shot, I'm not gonna go to prison. So with all those things out the way, it was like, well, the things I have to figure out at work, like, that's easy, I can do that. So, you know what I'm saying? So through all of that, you know, I just remembered, you know, I always set goals, I always stay focused, and you know, you might have a goal that's set here, and you might be here, and you like to go a straight shot to it, but sometimes you might have to take a detour, sometimes you might have to take a step back, step to the side, step forward to get to where you want to go. And so that's what I had to do. Again, I'm blessed, I'm lucky to even be standing here talking to y'all, and I really appreciate that everybody's came out here for this. But during that whole process, and so what brought me to the Men of Influence is when I got the call. So all that time while I'm working through all that stuff, things started coming back to my mind like that really didn't sit right with me about the stuff that was going on or that we had participated in the streets. And I was like, man, that's just not right. So when I got the call, I was like, yeah, I'm there. You know, and of course there's gonna be people that aren't with it or against it or whatever, but just like when you're doing whatever you want to do, if you do it, there's going to be people that'll support you. There's going to be people that won't support you. But I was like, there's something within me that tells me that I need to go do some work to fix and to give back from the community that I've taken a lot from. And so when the call came in, I was like, yeah, this is potentially the opportunity to do that. When we got in the room, I got to see all the friends that I talked about that I hadn't really got to chop it up with for the past 20 years because of the sides that we chose. And it brought me back to like East Junior High and shit. I'm seeing like Lil Snoop, like me and him had all kind of classes together. Like, this is my friend, Jurgen, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is love, you know what I'm saying? So it's really good to get in the room with these guys. And like D said, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happened in the streets, and we're not in there talking about that stuff, because that's not gonna get us anywhere. We gotta start today with what we can do today and how we can move forward. And so with that, I started, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I think everybody kind of had this kind of realization at some point, and I think that Tupac summed it up on his Machiavelli album when he said, we're proud to be black, but why we act like we don't love ourselves? Don't look around, mother, check yourself. You know what I'm saying? So we all looked in the mirror and checked ourselves and ended up in this room together. So again, I thank y'all, I appreciate y'all. Straight gratitude.
Give it up for, come on, y'all come on back up here. Come on back. I want the whole M.O.I. to come up here, man. Hey, that is a fantastic story here.
So I started the Chinook Center with a group of my friends over that looks like they left already. John and Sam, a lot of you guys know them. But you know, when I did this, I'm from the city too. I grew up in Pikes Peak Park, right down the street from K-Land, and you know, I got out the Army, I retired from the Army, and I wanted to do something for, you know, I came back and I saw my community was jacked up, you know what I'm saying? The sports wasn't what it was when I was a kid. You couldn't, there was nothing going on, you know, it was just a bunch of garbage stuff happening in the street. So I opened a restaurant and I tried to get this community center started from my restaurant. I was trying to reach out and do things that way, it just didn't work, I had to close it. So I got to the point where we could open this Chinook Center over here, and we got 11 community organizations that organize from that space over there. So we got workers unions, different community organizations are all here too, with the Southside Alliance, the Beautiful Boss Women, Keyshawn and them. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of folks that organize from over there, and D hit me up about this. So you know, that this is the whole reason why I started this. Every week when we meet up, I thank all of these dudes. And I tell them, thank you for doing this and taking this seriously, because there's power in being organized. And D kind of touched on it. You know, we showed up at City Hall and we didn't have to say nothing. They knew what it was already when we showed up. So that's kind of what this group is. You know, and it was not kind of, it's that times 10. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, these are the leaders in the community. So there's power in organizing, and I appreciate you guys again. Thank you.
Man. Nah, I'm saying though, like, me personally, I've been doing this. I've been chilling, you know what I'm saying? I'm a gang member, I still am. I can't say I quit or none of that. This ain't none of that. I'm still a gang member. But the gang banging thing, I don't do that no more. That's done, you know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I went back to East Junior High School, you know what I'm saying? Me and this dude right here, before we was gang banging and shit. But I did start gang banging in 1991. 30 years of this. It's like one of my first loves, you know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. That's one of the things I knew every day, woke up to it every day. But after 30 years of it, even before that though, but 30 years now, you get tired of that, like, man, we gotta do something else. This is what we doing every day? This is crip every day? Like, hold on. Nah, we gotta change that up. So, man, I appreciate y'all coming out here, supporting this, because this is serious. Like, I ain't gonna stop. I'm so serious about this.
Hello, y'all. It's Orlando, aka Lil O. I've been out here for a long time. I went to the pen out here, came out here from Chicago, fell in love with Colorado. Colorado's sweet. It's one of a kind places. You can come here and do whatever you want to do. But the gangbanging shit was already in effect, so I had to fall in line. But what I learned by going to the penitentiary is that we all can survive together. When we in that pen, we all on the same yard. We all go to this chow together. We all play ball together, football, baseball, everything. But then when we get out on these streets, we act stupid, like we can't rock with each other. So when D brought it to me, I said, I don't know how it's gonna work if you don't put him in a confined space. Because if you don't lock niggas up, they won't act right. So he said, man, just give it a try. I said, D, man, that's gonna be hard on the motherfucker, man. I don't know how you gonna feel. Man, you know, people gonna be looking at us crazy, telling us that we wrong for doing this and all this. He said, but man, it's time for a change. I said, all right, man, I'm with it. So I jumped on board to help him get everybody with it. I touched everybody I know, you know, trying to get them influenced to come in, you know, but eventually it's gonna gradually take on to everybody, because everybody gotta get along some way and somehow to get to the next level. So I thank you, D, because you helped me get a little bit more in line with myself. And thank you, brothers, for helping me and keeping me in line. Yeah.
My name Mike, aka Lil Bang. Long story short, born and raised right here in the Springs. Original badass. Yeah, I was off the chain, but it's the men influence. It was the influence for me when I was young, and I grew up looking up to the gang members. 11 years old, taught how to sell dope, weigh it up, throw up gang signs. Don't go over there, don't, you know, such up. And it trapped me. I was allured by it. A few people ain't gonna know me. But I just did 15 years straight. 15 years straight in Caesar's Den. And I'm free now. You know what I'm saying? I'm free. I got 2 years, I got 2 prison stints under my belt. So I got 20 altogether. But when I was young, I wasn't trying to hear that. You know, they used to always try to, and that go one in out the other. I'm like, man, where my daddy at? My daddy was the gang members. So, you know, I followed in footsteps. But what made me switch it up was I'm locked up and I'm a crip. They got me in a room with blood. So I'm like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? I'm a young one and I'm like, yeah, I'm finna get tested because this nigga is big. You know what I'm young, I weigh 147 pounds, so we weigh. I'm like, oh man, so I'm like, God. You feel me? But, and you know, we had a little, you know what I'm saying, little conversation. Don't call me cuz blood. I think he was finna swing on me. So, you know, I'll pivot back like this. Check this out, man. You know what I'm saying? Back on up. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I don't care about that word cuz and blood and that. I don't mean that. But as a man, boy, listen. Man, just, you know, give me my respect, I give you your respect, leave it at that. But you know, after that, we got along. See, my problem was it was never against the rival set though, because when I grew up gangbanging, it was always me banging with my so-called own brothers, blue on blue. You know what I'm saying? So, certain sets, I used to hear their name, my blood used to boil, I used to be like, I'm not with these niggas, man, you know what I'm saying? So, but then it was the Muslims, the black old schools who pulled me in. I wasn't trying to hear them, but a few of them knew my mama, knew my uncle. But when they got to calling out my older people, I'm like, okay, well, if you know my mama, then I might be able to listen to you. Made me get my GED. I had dropped out. Gave up, you know, the streets took me under. I got my GED. Took 2 social, anyway, I graduated, I elevated, you know what I mean? I seen something different, and I'm for the men of influence. All right.
My name is Jamal, better known as Capone. I grew up here, born and raised on the south side of town. My homeboy D and this dude right here kind of suckered me into doing it. You know what I mean? I'm a sucker for tattoos. Everybody sees I'm all tatted up, and this is my tattoo guy. And he's like, hey, I'm like, what's up with the tattoos? He's like, meet me over here. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going over here to get tatted. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, cool, so I'm gonna go finish the rest of my body. And I walk in and I see all kinds of gang members. And I'm like, oh, this is a setup. What's going on? You know what I mean? I see a couple of Crips, but I see Bloods in here. And I'm like, this ain't right. Listen, if I gotta sacrifice my life for tattoos, I ain't willing to do it. But what it ended up boiling down to is I've dedicated a lot of my life to this and being in prison as well. Like, majority of my 20s and bringing my 30s in. And it sucks when you're fighting with your own people or other people. And the bad part about it is your so-called brothers are out here drinking and smoking and doing everything, and can't nobody say, hey, what's going on with your children? You know what I mean? How's your mother? How's your brothers? How's this? How's that? You know what I mean? But everybody got some money for a beer. You know what I mean? You got that $3. If you put $3 up for your homeboy, that would go a long way in prison. You got 10 people to do that, that's $30. You know what I mean? But when it all boils down to it, it sucks, you know what I mean? It sucks going against your own, and it sucks when nobody has unity. So if we can give these kids something better to to reach out to, you know what I mean? Give them something more positive to do. I'd rather save a life than take a life. That's just what it is.
I guess it's my turn now. DeAndre hit me up about it too, and so did Lil Snoop. And it's been something that we've been trying to do for a long time. As everybody up here, I always didn't feel that way. You know, there's a lot of animosity through everybody in here. A lot of my people back there feel the same way sometimes about the situation. Everybody spread out around here in different sets. But you gotta change that kind of mentality after a while. You know, when you start realizing you get older, you see all the destruction that you've done. You see all the chaos that you've left behind. Not just on the other side, but my family has suffered for things I've done. My children, I've lost one of my baby mamas to this life. I've lost a lot of my time and a lot of things that I could have done if I hadn't. But I don't have no regrets. I have a lot of good times during all this time too. A lot of brothers, a lot of sisters, a lot of loved ones here still and who have passed. But through all that drama and all the destruction and all the hate and chaos, now it's kind of like, you know, it's weighed on me for many, many years. I've been to the feds, I've done time there, county jails, dodged some bullets, you know, very lucky in life. But, you know, there's a lot of turmoil, so now all that weight, now I'm trying to do something that's gonna help outweigh all that and try to bring back something to everybody in here. The whole thing is that, like, you guys take the message that we're giving and you tell your friends and your people and your brothers and sisters about what's going on and let them know that they can kind of relax when it comes to if they get approached to come join, because I'm a recruit. I got brothers out here right now that have been in meetings that are not up here, and you know, they're with it, but they're just kind of nervous because, you know, this is something nobody's ever done before. This is something totally new to the city, and our city's growing. It's growing. It's gonna get bigger. It's gonna get more hectic. It's gonna get more things, and we're trying to have a voice out in our community too, as well, from the bottom up, like from the bottom. So we're not politicians. We're business owners. I got businesses. I got a barbershop, tattoo shop, radio station, podcasting station. I'm a self-published author. I do a lot of things, but I've been to the feds and I've only been home about 6 years. And I did all this, no loans, no help, you know, just from my people, that's it. So, you know, that's my 2 minutes, y'all.
2 minutes, man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, hold my time first. I got something to say. I wanna say thank God for everything that's going on right now for us. And I want to thank the man of influence asking me, say, Mo, you got to cook for the comedians, so how you going to do Thanksgiving the next day? You need some help? I want to thank y'all for helping me cooking this food. All right, now my 2 minutes to stop. And I'm going to come quick and I'm going to come easy, and it's going to be hard. I want to say thanks to my pastor, my cousin Dennis Mosley. He's sitting in the back. I'm from Chicago. My gangbanging days, I was a gangster disciple. Then when I came an OG, I came a growth and development. I'm standing strong for my heart. I'm standing strong for my streets. It don't matter what state I come from. My auntie put me out of Chicago because my mama got murdered. She said, my sister, only child, is not gonna die. So people was trying to kill me. They shot my car up. Glad my bulletproof windows was good. But I went to Iowa, took my Chicago mentality to Iowa. I was so good to them folks. But the white folks say, yo, Chicago stuff, you going to prison. Yeah. So, I'm gonna let y'all know I cooked my way out of prison. Thank God for that. Supposed to see the parole board in 9 months. I cooked for the parole board in the wardens. The head man said, nigga, how you learn how to cook this? My grandma, my mother, and my father. So I took that trade on from selling dope robbing, scheming. So I came to Denver. I got to know everybody there. I'm selling food there. Then all of a sudden I started doing the moving company. So I came to the Springs, I called my cousin. He said, "Cuz, come to church." And I said, "Dad, I'm coming." But when I did my testimony, and I'm gonna give y'all a good brief, was my testimony. I thank God for the peoples I get sent to him. I praise him. Please forgive me. Please forgive me for doing all the nonsense that I ever did. But I also believed in God and the devil. I shoot somebody, help an old lady walk across the street. I beat this dude up. I got jumped on. I go over there, help this little kid read a book. So when I realized more that Colorado Springs, Colorado opened arms to me, I say thank y'all. My testimony at church, I told my cousin, I feel like I'm Jesus. I got y'all on my back. Cause y'all called me and say, "Mo, you cooking today?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm carrying you." That's how I feel. I see much love here. I don't want to leave. My people's Alabama want me to come home, but I'm not. I'm staying right here. I love Colorado Springs. When I was at the lake feeding peoples, I feed homeless. I feed everybody the best way I can. I feed the homeless at the rescue mission with their program on every holiday. A person could come to me and say, "Man, I don't got no money." He got $100 in his pocket. I'm gonna still feed him. You can knock at my door, call my phone, whatever. I'm gonna come to your house and feed you. That's my goal. God got me on the mission. I'm on the mission to love y'all. And I always want to thank my brothers, Man in the Florence, for opening up the doors for me. Especially Sean, I want to thank you for kicking off the first year you started. I was there with this K-Land thing. So my hood is hood everywhere. So I'm here with y'all.
You don't have to talk now. You don't want to talk, you don't have to talk.
I just came up here. I was the last one up here, but I came up here to show appreciation on my brothers right here. I grew up with most of these dudes here from jump. Now I kind of slip between the cracks from my brothers because you know I got brothers on both sides, Bloods, Crips, everybody. They know me. Damn. But the thing is, it's the love that I see now between these brothers, man. It makes me want to change it. And just Brandon, thank you, man, because until I found the church home, I just was stuck, man. So it feels good. It's in my hood that I'm from, you know, and why not be a positive influence, man? You know, that's what it's about. You know, we can all sit up here and be tough, but in the end, we all got mamas, we all got kids, we all got somebody that we looking out for. So, you know, I pray for everybody out here, man. Thanks for having me up here with y'all brothers, man, for real, man, because it's all love.
Yeah, King. Huh? Yeah, you, okay.
How everybody doing today? I'm King Nye, better known as Coach Jerome, owner of Santiago's Boxing Club. I think by now, everybody in here is getting the magnitude of what's actually taking place right now.
Yes, sir.
Everybody, right? See, I've been on my own since I was about 13 years old. And what these gentlemen are talking about doing, I'm the product of it. See, it was OGs like this that took the time out to say, yo, I need to give back to my community that kept me out the streets, right? So how many people in here that's in here that's 18 years old and under? 18 years old. I mean under. Right? Okay, so the reason I say that is because the reason that he told me that he did this, he said, I put in work so that you don't have to put in work. All these people up here that just gave their testimony put in work so that you don't have to put in work. If you don't walk away from anything, please know and understand that their testimony is your testimony. You don't have to make the same mistakes that we made at all. All right, that's my time.
Hey everybody, I'm Coach T, Coach Tiny. Unlike these guys here, they claim one set or another, but I claim them all. Because just by every set up here, I got somebody who I coached or I was an influence on them in their lives at some point in time. So I claim all the sets, which is a good thing because I can go pretty much anywhere. But one thing I want you guys to do to really, as you listen to the stories and why we're here, this and that, I told some of the guys already that if we don't do nothing else, this group here coming together, all these different sets in one room together, nobody's looking side-eyed at nobody, everybody's pretty comfortable with one another. If we don't do nothing else, this is a success. Just this room right here, right now, these guys right here doing what they're doing is a success. But we're not gonna stop right here. We got a lot of work to do. And if you guys were coming to any of our meetings, see our meetings, there's fire in our meetings. All these guys are true, just like they was true to what they were doing out there in the streets. I feel it in my heart, I see it, they show it, they true to this suit. And we're gonna make a difference, they're gonna make a difference. But like I said, these are the big homies. It's the little young homies that's out there acting the fool. But we need these big homies to be able to represent and talk to the little young homies so that some of this stuff, we can't stop everything, but we can control a whole lot of it. And these are the guys who's gonna do it. I'm just glad that I'm part of it. And Neighborhood Association? Yeah, K-Land Neighborhood Association. Okay, can I finish this? Hey, I got the clock right here. I got 30 seconds. Okay, so like I said, when you guys listen to the stories, and I'm sure they gave you the PG stories. I'm sure there's a whole bunch more out there, but look beyond that. Look at what we're doing now, what they're doing now. And like I said, if you don't see nothing else, see the success of all these different sets, different gang members, and there's more of them, you know, in the same room. Not carrying guns, showing love to one another. Something that he couldn't do before this. So I do want to thank my son, DeAndre Smith, for making this possible. And I would like just a little short introduction to, we also, besides the men influence, for the K-Land Community Home Association. I have a couple people here. We're starting a group there too. Anybody here still here? Nia, whoever else? Miss, stand up. Miss Belinda over there, Nia over there. There were a couple more here, but they had to leave. But we also trying to do, we're trying to do some things in the city, but we need you guys, we need your help, we need your donations, we need your support. Even though we say this is free, we all know this is not free. So please, please, please help us, help these men be the men that we know they are. You know, we say when they go to, anybody, go to jail, do this, do that, they say, why don't they get out and do something positive? Man, they need to do this. That's what they're doing. We need your support. We need your support to keep them on the right track. We all need some checks and balances. Okay, I'm gonna say right now, in my case, I'm gonna say me and Coach J, because we're the only two up here who are really non-gang affiliated. So we're gonna support them, but you need you guys to support us. Thank you.
I can't let Will get away. I can't let Will have to say something. He hates talking on the mic, but I gotta have him say something real quick. Come on, Big Will. Will, you have 30 seconds though.
I don't even need that. I appreciate y'all coming.
That was shorter than Russell Simmons back in the day. Thank y'all for coming out. Listen, y'all, 2 seconds, y'all. Can we get a picture? I want to get a picture. D, look it up. Picture. This is great. See, I think you guys are understanding now how important this is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got some free turkey. That's great. We got a free meal, all of that. But this community work is important. And like Coach Tiny said, we're not going to stop. Yeah, y'all get your cameras ready, because this right here is historic. This right here is, we making history. It's never been done in this city where you bring a bunch of the OGs together to stop the violence. So yeah, give yourselves a round of applause and let's get this picture. Got it, all right. That was a beautiful thing. We're gonna make Christmas cards out of, no, I'm joking.
I just want to say thank you guys for having this. That is my sister Belinda, wherever she ran to. As we pulled up and was sitting in the car, I was seeing all these people coming in. My husband's like, what are we doing and why are we here? I was like, I don't know, just wait. Let's just wait and see. But you guys' story is part of my story. I have a son that was in a gang. He's been in the prison, been out of prison, been in prison, and I can so relate to what all you guys are saying. And for the bullets flying and not hitting any of you guys, all I can say was by the grace of God that you guys are still here. And I just feel like it's by the grace of God that my son is still here, because I have to pray over him every night, and I was so afraid of that 4 or 5 o'clock phone call saying my child was dead. And I just am so appreciative for you guys taking the time to teach one, reach one, and making a difference for where we need to be now. And like you said, we should have done this so much sooner. And I just want to thank all you guys for your stories and testimonies.
That's a beautiful testimony. That's a beautiful testimony. Zaquan, come on up here, brother. Hey, listen, y'all get that music queued up. This is how old is Zaquan? 16? 17. This young man he's been influenced by the men of influence, you know what I'm saying? These people are giving back and they are pouring into our youth. Give Zay, he goes by Zay Marquis. Give Zay Marquis a hand. He gonna come up here.
He was like, where's the key at? I was like, he's grounded at home.
I want to thank you to Men of Influence. They've been very positive, people when I was growing up. So I want to thank everybody that's in the Men of Influence. By the way, I go by the name of Zay Marquis. I'm about to do my song. It's called Jesus I'm Calling. My Jesus, I'm coming for you right now. My Jesus, please don't let me down. My Jesus, I'm here at the kingdom. I'ma open up the Bible and I'm gonna pray. I appreciate you, cause you woke me up today. I will never let you down, cause I had my crown. You told me to smile and never to frown. I gotta count my blessings, cause people is giving me chances. I gotta focus on school instead of romances. Singing is my coping skills. I don't need none of these drugs and none of these pills that is gon' kill. And every night I'm eating a meal. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Every day I pray, stay striving. Mama told me keep fighting, but I never lost faith, cause I know it's you who made the way. Every day I pray, stay striving. Mama told me keep fighting, but I never lost faith, cause I know it's you who made the way. I'm stuck up on this road, and nobody knows what I go through. Put yourself in my shoes. I've been really singing since God gave me this gift. Put your hands up, let's get it. Say yeah, say yeah, say yeah. Jesus, I'm calling. Jesus. I'm coming for you right now. Jesus. Please don't let me down. Jesus. I'm here at the kingdom. I'm open to the I'm gonna pray.
Thank you.
Give it up one more time, Zay Marquis. All right, we rolling now. Christian, you ready? Christian gonna dance for y'all. Y'all give it up for Christian. Yeah. Give it up one more time. Give it up for Christian. He up there working hard, boy. I'm glad he could do that. I can't do all that. It was many years ago. That's all I got. It's a two-step.
You got it, right? Because I didn't get it before.
You want me? No. That's old. I'm rusty now.
Hey, you know I used to be there.
You used to be there. He said when I used to sing. That was so long ago, man. It was 1900. And, you know it's old when they say 100. 1900. I remember Ray and them was in the service. We have a couple more. We got the young man. Is he ready? Is his music ready? Okay. Jaden, come on up. Come on up, Jaden. Come on. Hey, listen. Y'all can stay. Y'all can leave. We rocking right now. Come on, Jaden. Somebody say, go, Jaden. Come on up and do your thing. Is the music ready? We queued up? All right. Give it up for Jaden, y'all.
Can you sing?
Sit back. What you doing? Where you at? Oh, you got plans. Don't say that. Shut your trap. I'm sipping wine. And I'm rolled. I look too good to be alone. My house clean. My pool warm. Just like a newborn. We should be dancing, romancing in the keys.
that you're coming through. You're so sweet, so sweet, so tight, so tight. I won't bite unless you like. If you smoke, I got the haze. And if you're hungry, I got the lace. Oh, baby, don't keep me waiting. There's so much love we could be making. I'm talking kissing, cuddling, rose petals in the bathtub. Girl, it's jumping, bubbling. I ain't playing no games. Every word that I say is coming straight from the heart. So, nigga, try to lay this on. I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open, girl. I'ma leave the door open. Let you feel the way I feel, and you want me like I want you tonight, baby. Tell me that you're coming through. Tell me that you're coming just waiting for
Give it up for Jaden one more time, y'all. I could do that. I could do something. No, that was stupid. Don't even laugh at that one. We are past time, but we just rocking right now. Sarah, come up here and bless us with your lovely voice. Y'all give it up for Sarah. She got a couple different names, stage names, so she gonna explain all that. Watch your step. All right. You can use this. No, is it the yellow mic? The yellow one, okay. See, I know how, I listen a little bit. One more time for Sarah, y'all.
Hi. Thank you guys so much for having me. First of all, I want to say I'm so proud of you guys. So proud of y'all. I think that this is an awesome thing that you guys are doing. And I can't wait to see what all you guys do with it. I'm gonna sing, or I guess I should start by saying, I'm Sarah Nelson, or my artist name is High Key, and I'm gonna sing His Eyes on the Sparrow. A cappella. Why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows come? And why should my heart be lonely and long for heaven and home? When Jesus is my portion, I'll constant is all the shadow, and I know He watches me. I see because I'm happy, and I see because I'm free. His light is all the sparrow, and I know He watches me. Thank you so much.
Give it up, give it up. One more time for Sarah, y'all. Jen, I need Jen, don't go too far, but I need about 60 seconds, y'all, with just a quick little message from Mr. Steve Patterson. Y'all give him a hand.
How's everybody doing? So, 35 years ago, this month, my sister was a teacher at John Adams, and she wanted me to do a martial arts program. I started with 30 kids, and Park and Rec paid me $300. And the program was so successful that I said I have to find somewhere to continue this. So I looked around, and I found this building on Hancock. A lot of you know where it was, next to the liquor store and everything like that. From that $300, I opened up my first martial arts studio. And I always tell people, be careful what you do because you never know who's watching you. So one day I'm out, I'm sweeping it up, I'm cleaning it up and everything. White guy in a suit comes up to me. He says, I like what you're doing. He said, you ought to think about buying this. I said, I ain't got that kind of money. He said, who says you need money? He said, here's my number. Give me a call and see what you can come up with. So I went to my parents and I said, look, this is the deal, what's going on? What can you do? They said, we'll give you $10,000. So I called the guy, I said, look, I come up with $10,000, but it's gonna be a family thing. So he said, cool. So I get the appointment, I go in, me, my mother, and my father. So how you doing, Mr. Patterson? Mr. Patterson, Miss Patterson, sit down. He said, I like what you're doing. He said, I live in Woodland Park, and I bring my daughter down to your school because I wanted her in a diverse type atmosphere. He said, sign here. And that's how I bought my first school, and it ended up buying that building. So now, 35 years later, I'm opening up a school right across the street, right down the street from John Adams, where I started. This will be my 6th school. And I don't want Patterson on it anymore, because it's not about me, it's about the community, because I owe back too. So I called D, I said, look, I'm trying to come up with some names. I said, I'm trying to come in with what you guys are going. So I said, how does Neighborhood Taekwondo Fitness Center sound? He said, great. Just like they could have moved this church up north and made this money, I could go up north and I could be a millionaire. You know, classes up there is $200 per student a month, and it's not fair to this community. So I'm coming back, I'm giving back, and I'm in the process of remodeling now, so by December, it'll be open. All right, thank you.